Good morning. I want to see how are you doing in your learning of the questions. I want to see your progress. So today we're going to have a quiz. I'm going to do the quiz in two parts, one today and one for next class. Don't worry, you can take all your notes, all your worksheets from past lessons, all the help that you need. You can have a calculator. I'm going to do 3 problems here. I chose these problems because they represent the 3 types of equations you will have in your quiz today. One equation is a simple equation. You don't have to do anything, but just follow the steps, no distribution. The second equation has distribution. So I'm going to do an example of that review. And I chose the third one because it has a fraction. And I know the fractions sometimes are a little tricky. So let's do a review on how we do our equations. The first example, the most simple one, we're going to move variables. So let's move this 4m. I should use a different color. Let's move this to the other side, and for that, let's undo the 4 by putting a -4 on both sides. And if I do that, I'm going to copy the 8 over here. -6 minus 4 is -10m. And this is equal, these two get cancelled. And I am left with the 48 here. And then now, let's move the numbers. Let's isolate the m. And for that, we need to get rid of this 8. So I can have the m's, the -10 is multiplying the m, so that will be the last thing we undo. The opposite of 8 positives is negative 8, sorry. So let's take away 8 on both sides. That way we can cancel this. We bring down the negative 10 m's, and that is equal 48 minus 8. That is 40. I still have that negative 10 with the m's. Since it's multiplying, and the inverse of multiplication is division, I'm going to divide that by -10, both sides. And this will cancel my 10s, my negative 10s. I will have the m by itself. And the m is equal to 40 divided by -10, which is -4. Okay, and this is the most simple equation that you will have today. Now let's move to the second example where we have a distribution. Let me use a different color. When we distribute, we multiply numbers outside the parentheses, but each term inside the parentheses. We're going to multiply 4 times 2r's, and then the 4 times -1. And the other side also has distribution. The -2 is going to multiply the 3r's, and then the -2 is going to multiply the 16. So let's see. 4 times 2, multiply the numbers, the coefficients, and then copy the letter. 4 times 2 is 8, and copy the letter, which is r, and 4 times -1 is 4. And this is equal to -2 times 3, which is the coefficient, is 6, -6, and copy the r. And -2 times 16, that's -32. Now we are on the same level as the first one, so we need to move the variables. Let's move the r. Since it's negative here, the opposite will be to put, the opposite of negative is positive, so I'm going to put a +6r, so I can eliminate that on both sides to keep the balance, right? We need to do it on both sides. 8 plus 6, that is 14r's. I'm going to bring down the -4, that is equal. These two get cancelled, and I am left with -32. Next step, we have the 4, which is negative. I want to undo it, so let's put the +4 on both sides. And then we bring down the 14r. Remember that the multiplication, the number with the letter, is the last thing that we undo. We first do the others. 14r, these two get cancelled. And minus 32 plus 4, that gives me a negative 28. You can use your calculators, of course, for today. And then the 14r is multiplying, therefore I need to divide to undo it. Divide by 14. Division is the inverse operation of multiplication. And that way the 14s get cancel each other. I'm left with the r, and r is equal to negative 28 divided by 14 is negative 2. And then the last one, the ones with fractions. Let's do that one. Let me change the color over here. Okay, so there is a distribution here. So I'm going to work, maybe I should move over here. The distribution first, and I'm going to copy the rest. So 4y remains the same. And this is equal to the 38. I'm not going to do anything yet. But now the negative 1/2 is going to multiply 4y's, and then the negative 1/2 is going to multiply the 16. You can do the multiplication in your calculator. Negative 1/2 times 4, that is equal to negative 2y's. Remember, you do the numbers, 1/2 times 4, and then you copy the letter. And now, negative 1/2 times 16, that is equal to 8. And now that we took it out of the distribution, we are back to here, to our regular steps. You know, we can do one extra step here because I see I have a 38 and a minus 38. These two numbers are alike, so I can combine them. So I cannot work with different numbers. So 4y is equal to 38 minus 8. That's 30. And then I copy the y's, minus 2y. That should make it easier. Now let's move the variables. The y over here, we're going to move it to the left. So let's put a positive 2y's. So I can cancel those, and we do the same on the other side. Okay, and that leaves us 4 plus 2 is 6y's, and that is equal to 30. And this one are canceled. We don't need it anymore. Now the 6 is multiplying the y. Therefore, to undo it, I need to divide. Let's divide by 6, both. And now we are going to solve for y. The 6 cancel each other. I'm left with the y, and the y is equal to 30 divided by 6, which is 5. Okay, these are examples and a little review. Now go ahead on your quiz, work on that first page. Next week we will next class we will do the second part of the quiz. I hope you have a good day. Don't stress, please. Take it easy, go slow. You had time, grab a calculator and your notes. I hope that helps. Have a good day.